bring the February 20th, 2023 council meeting to order. We'll have a moment of reflection followed by the pledge of allegiance. Pledge to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
He goes for it.
Council, have you had an opportunity to review the meeting minutes, agenda items A through D? Any comments or corrections? Seeing none, they stand approved. That will bring us to several items under communications, petitions, and awards. This evening, Mr. Wendt.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I'm very excited. Last year in our budget discussions, City Council discussed very extensively over budget discussions, over retreat, and working with Chief Follick about the need to increase the ratio of full-time firefighter staffing. We've responded with that in two ways. One, right now we're conducting a process for the recruitment of full-time fire lieutenants. On the other side of it, we added 3 additional full-time firefighter paramedic inspectors. In firefighter scheduling on the 24/48 schedule, that's 1 extra person per day or per 24-hour shift. And so we have 3 people to swear in, but I would like to just introduce each of them first before conducting that swear-in. At that point, I would invite them to bring up their families, their spouse, or their parent, or whoever to pin their badge on. And so the first, and I'll just ask you to stand up, is Gage Duvall. And Mr. Duvall was at Riverside Fire Department. He's been at Vandalia Fire since August 2021. He's a graduate of Miami Valley Career Tech Center and also Northmont High School. And he currently lives in Fairborn. And so we're really excited to welcome him aboard. Gage, you can go ahead and take a seat, please. All right, next we have Noah Van Doesburg. I got it, didn't I? Yep. Yeah, I did. I only made that mistake once, Van Doesburg. Mr. Van Doesburg lives on Raider here in town in Vandalia. I hope you didn't mind me sharing that with everybody. They probably won't follow you home. He's been with us at Vandalia Fire since March 2022. He graduated from Butler High in 2020 and has graduated from Sinclair with his various fire certifications. Thank you, Noah. Next up, we have back Mark Jones, Mr. Mark Jones Jr. There you are, Mark. Good to see you today. The law director just let me know that he very much appreciates your tie. He's a bow tie man as well. Mr. Jones is a graduate with a bachelor's degree from Wilmington College. He's been a full-time Wilmington firefighter. He has worked at Vandalia Fire for some time, and so we're really happy to have him come back here in a full-time capacity. And so without further ado, we'll go ahead and we'll do those swear-ins. And so I'll ask Mr. Duvall to come up here first.
Nice to meet you.
Take good care of it.
Thank you.
All right. Go ahead. I, Gage Duvall, solemnly swear
I, Gage Duvall, solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and will obey the laws of the United States
and will obey the laws of the United States
and the state of Ohio,
and the state of Ohio,
that I will in all respects
that I will in all respects
observe the provisions of the Charter
observe the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of the city of Vandalia,
and ordinances of the city of Vandalia,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Firefighter Paramedic Inspector
of Firefighter Paramedic Inspector
within the Division of Fire.
within the Division of Fire.
Congratulations, welcome aboard.
Putting it upside down.
Hard to see.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, Mr. Van Doesburg. The more the merrier.
Just take a video. Yes. Karen.
I'm Dirk. Nice to meet you.
Yes, sir.
All right, you raise your right hand, please. I, Noah Van Doesburg, solemnly swear
I, Noah Van Doesburg, solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and will obey the laws of the United States
and will obey the laws of the United States
and of the state of Ohio,
and of the state of Ohio,
that I will in all respects
that I will in all respects
observe the provisions of the Charter
observe the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of the city of Vandalia,
and ordinances of the city of Vandalia,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Firefighter Paramedic Inspector
of Firefighter Paramedic Inspector
within the Division of Fire.
within the Division of Fire.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Jones.
Yes.
All right. I, Mark Jones, solemnly swear
I, Mark Jones, solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and will obey the laws of the United States
and will obey the laws of the United States
and of the state of Ohio,
and of the state of Ohio,
that I will in all respects
and that I will in all respects
observe the provisions of the Charter
observe the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of the city of Vandalia,
and ordinances of the city of Vandalia,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Firefighter Paramedic Inspector
of Firefighter Paramedic Inspector
within the Division of Fire.
within the Division of Fire.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Thank you.
All right, Your Honor. And last but not least, we have Tiffany Moore. And Tiffany, I'll just ask you to stand up. I don't see you in the audience there. Oh, there you are. Tiffany came to us as a public safety specialist. She has 7 years and 4 months or so at Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. She started with us about 5 months ago, and we haven't gotten her to a council meeting yet, and so we're very glad to have her here. And I just wanted to introduce you to the person that you're talking to if you happen to have to dial 911 in Vandalia. And so Tiffany lives in Carlisle, is that right? And we're just really glad she's made it through her training and everything, and so things are going very well. And we really appreciate the work you do, Tiffany. Thank you. And we have a whole bunch of other, like, local government stuff to do. You're all welcome to stay. It's a public meeting. You don't have to go. But if you want to, now's a good time.
It's going to be riveting.
Yeah.
Ever? Oh, I think we should do that church now, just for you. I think that's you have insurance.
So those little boys are gonna pick me up when I call 911, they bring their ambulance over to get me, and my back goes out.
All right, we'll proceed. We have first a couple of public hearings on the matters that were before us earlier. First public hearing is the Miami Valley Communications Council electric aggregation. I opened the public hearing today, February 20th, 2023, for electric aggregation pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Sections 4929.26C, and calling the city manager for an introduction. Mr. Wendt.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 4929.26C, this is a public hearing where we would invite, if it pleases the chair, to hear any comments from the public regarding the electric aggregation program. We had a presentation on that earlier today. This one is specific for electric. We have the operation and governance plan that we've made available here and on our website, and we'll have a second public hearing on March 6th.
Any questions from council? Seeing none, the hearing for electrical aggregation is closed. Then we will have immediately a first public hearing of Miami Valley Communications Council Natural Gas Aggregation Program. February 20th, 2023, this public hearing is brought to order for natural gas aggregation pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 4929.26C, and call on the city manager for an introduction. Mr. Wendt.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I will point out that the resolutions state 4928.20 and not 49.29. I believe that's a typo on
Yeah, the
our part.
one is correct for the electric, but the gas one is
Gas
incorrect.
aggregation
Yes.
is 48.
I don't have it right in front of me. I'm trying to find that, but that's fine as long as we hold the public hearing.
Very well.
The, similarly to the electric aggregation program, this is a hearing for natural gas aggregation. We had a presentation earlier on this as well, and so I would just turn it over to you.
If anybody has a comment either for or against, please approach the podium and state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing for national aggregation and proceed onward. As a point of information, then we will conduct another public hearing on these two issues on March 6th, 2023, before they will go into effect, assuming that council passes it. And this brings us now to comments from interested citizens. If any member of the audience would like to speak to council, please state your name and address for the record, and please approach the podium. Seeing none, we'll close the public comments. And that brings us to the city manager's report. Mr. Wendt?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Just a couple of comments. I'd like to congratulate our newest Public Works Technician Supervisor, Cody Boer. He's been with us for a couple of years. I will ask him to come to a council meeting in the near future so that you might meet him. Outside, you may have noticed the new hydro excavation truck parked out there. That's going to be great for responding to public utilities, emergencies, and for digging, and so I'm glad that we were able to bring that up. We just took delivery last week. This has been in the capital improvement plan for several years, and by buying a 22 model at the end of the year, we ended up saving about $56,000 from what we had budgeted for it. Other than that, Friday, February 24th is the Employee Service Awards Luncheon. That will be at Castle Hills Golf Course Clubhouse at 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We are recognizing many employees who have a combined service of, I think it's about 395 years of service to the city of Vandalia, and I don't want to miss anybody, but looking in the room, Rob Cron will be celebrated for 30 years of service. That concludes my report, Your Honor.
Very well. That will bring us to old business, and we have none, and onward to resolutions. Mr. McDonald, would you read Resolution 23R7 by title?
A resolution authorizing the purchase of a John Deere 1575 terrain cut mower with snow blower and broom attachment requested by the Parks and Recreation Department at the State of Ohio contract bid price, and requesting the council declare the current 2000 John Deere 1145 model terrain cut mower being replaced surplus property.
Mr. Wendt?
Thank you, Your Honor. The Parks and Rec Department is requesting to purchase a John Deere terrain cut mower with snow blower and broom attachments from Deere and Company through the State of Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Contract Number 800750 STS 515AG at a total cost of $40,474.72 after trade-in. The 2023 capital budget has $75,000 allocated for the purchase based on a price quote received during the budget process. This specialty piece of equipment provides versatility in one machine, as it will be used to mow grass, blow snow, broom sidewalks, pathways, and parking lots. The Park Maintenance Division's current terrain cut mower is a John Deere 1145 model, and it is from the year 2000. We are proposing to trade in the current model as part of the purchase.
Very well, thank you.
Thank you.
May I have a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move to approve Resolution 23R-07 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Follick and a second by Councilman Blakesley for Resolution 23R07. Mr. McDonald?
Councilmember Woods?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Follick?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes, and the motion passes 4-0. Resolution 23R05. Mr. McDonald?
08, isn't it?
08, Your Honor.
A resolution authorizing the purchase of 3 John Deere 950M zero-turn mowers at the State of Ohio contract bid price, and requesting council declare 2 current 2007 John Deere 757 models being replaced surplus property.
Mr. Wendt?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. This is to purchase 3 John Deere 950M zero-turn mowers at a cost of $32,471.09 after trade-in. 2023 capital budget had $30,000 in it. The balance of the funds for the purchase would come from the terrain cut mower purchase remaining balance in order to cover the additional expense for the 3 zero-turn mowers.
Very well. May I have a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 23-R-08.
Second.
Second. I have a motion by Councilwoman Woods and a second by Councilman Blakesley for Resolution 2308. Are there any comments from council? Mr. McDonald?
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follak,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis.
Yes, and the motion passes 4-0. Brings us to Resolution 2309.
A resolution waiving the formal bidding process and authorizing the purchase of 3 high-capacity smart waste and recycling units from Big Belly LLC of Needham, Massachusetts, at the proposal price of $34,541.50.
Mr. Wendt?
Thank you, Your Honor. Park and Rec received a solid waste management district grant in the amount of $22,287.65 for the purchase of 3 high-capacity smart waste and recycling units. The city share of the cost in the units is $12,253.85 for the project.
Very well. May I have a motion?
Make a motion, approve Resolution 23R09.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Blakesley and a second by Councilman Follak to approve Resolution 23R09. Are there any comments?
I like the name of the units, Big Belly,
Great.
kind of fitting.
Mr. McDonald?
Councilmember Follak,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis.
Yes, and the motion passes 4-0. Mr. McDonald, Resolution 23R10 by title only.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase Intrado's Viper phone system to replace the current phone system that was damaged by water in the amount of $121,851.02.
Mr. Wendt?
Thank you, Your Honor. On Christmas Day 2022, the Intrado Viper system, telephone system, was damaged when water entered the system after the Justice Center's sprinkler system ruptured. Division of Police personnel and also IT division personnel researched replacement phone systems and received demonstrations and cost proposals. After that process and in recommendation from IT and police, I request that City Council waive the competitive bid process and approve an emergency resolution authorizing the purchase of the Intrado Viper emergency telephone system to meet the public safety needs of our community. This purchase is not a 2023 budget item, but will be submitted with the insurance claim that we filed with the Miami Valley Risk Management Association, our insurer, from the water damage for reimbursements. The total purchase and installation cost is $121,851.02, which includes the first year warranty.
Very well, thank you very much.
Yep.
May I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve Resolution 23R10.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Blakesley and a second by Councilwoman Woods for Resolution 23R10. Mr. McDonald, first, are there any comments? Mr. McDonald?
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follak,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis.
Yes, and the motion passes 4-0. We have no readings or ordinances in the first reading this evening. We have one ordinance in its second reading. Mr. McDonald, by title only, 23-03.
An ordinance to amend certain provisions in the Vandalia codified ordinances relating to knives in order to comply with the changes in state law.
Mr. Wendt?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. As the law director stated, this is largely a housekeeping matter, just so that our laws will mirror those of the Ohio Revised Code.
Since it is an ordinance in its second reading, we'll open a public hearing on ordinance 2303. If anyone in the audience would like to approach council, please do so and state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, Mr. McDonald, will you please call the roll?
Need a motion and second, I believe.
Oh, pardon me.
I'll move that we approve ordinance 2303.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Woods and a second by Councilman Follick for Resolution 23-03. Mr. McDonald?
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follick,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis.
Yes. Motion passes 4-0.
Your Honor, may I call a point of order, sir?
Please do.
In our study session, we determined very astutely that it requires 5 present council members to pass an emergency ordinance. And so I think I would just propose that this stand as a first reading for the assessments, if that's okay.
Absolutely. That brings us to ordinance 23-04 in its first reading. Mr. McDonald, by title only, please.
And just reminder, we will still call it declaring an emergency, but it will not take effect tonight. At the next meeting, it will likely be passed as an emergency and take immediate effect at that time.
Very
And-
well.
An ordinance approving individual assessment amounts and directing the finance director or her designee to certify the amounts to the county auditor for collection and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Wendt?
Your Honor, this emergency ordinance assesses properties for delinquent accounts relating to stormwater fees, trash collection, delinquent sewer and water, and weed cutting.
Very well. May I have a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move to approve ordinance 2304 in the first reading.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Follick and a second by Councilman Blakesley for ordinance 23-04. Mr. McDonald?
Councilmember Follick,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis.
Yes, and the motion passes 4-0. That brings us to reports from boards and commissions, and we have none. Next on the agenda is the bill listing from January 23, expenses, and the January 22 purchasing card details. We have a bill listing in the amount of $3,405,644.30. January expenses over $50,000. And then we have a January purchasing card detail in the amount of $10,463.33. That will bring us to council comments. Mr. McDonald?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Mr. Wendt?
The only thing, Your Honor, is on the next item for the executive session, the purpose of the executive session, bullet point number 2 is to consider certain, I think it's personnel matters, and that may be a typo, and so I just wanted to read that into the record.
Very well.
That's it. Thank you.
Councilman Follick?
Just 2 things real quick. First, congratulations to Chief Althouse on his election as the second vice president for the Ohio Associations of Chiefs of Police. So that now Chief Althouse will now, I think, spend the next 3 years in ascending leadership roles in the organization. So it's great that Vandalia, with a population of 15,000, that our chief has got a leadership role at the OACP at the state level for the next 3 years. So congratulations, Chief. And also just wanted to comment, I know City Manager Wendt mentioned it prior to the firefighter swearing-ins. But I think this, I was thrilled to see this tonight. I know during budget process, we had a lot of discussion about fire department staffing. We committed for 2023, basically to add 6 full-time positions to the fire department, 3 of those through promotions and backfilling those. So we've made the priority of moving the fire department and making it less dependent on part-time staffing and more dependent on full-time staffing. And I think it's something that we'll be continuously working on to get to where we have that good balance to be able to continue to provide the services to our community. So tonight was a culmination of many months and discussions and getting the budget in place. So it was good to see that tonight. So thank you.
Great. Councilman Blakesley?
The only thing I have tonight is a motion to excuse council members Mayor Herbst and Councilmember Ehlers and Councilwoman Farst for all meetings tonight.
Very well. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
The motion passes 4-0. Councilman Woods?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
And I have nothing this evening, and that will bring us to the executive session. And as Mr. Wendt had said, it's been recommended the council enter into an executive session to consider the purchase of real property and consider certain personnel matters relating to the employment of a public employee. So we will retire briefly to the executive session and then resume our council meeting upon our return.
So moved.
Well, first, if I understood Mr. Wendt correctly, there isn't a need to go into the executive session for the personnel issue?
That is not correct. It's that it says personal instead of personnel.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
In the Ohio Revised Code, you got to say personnel, and you can only go in for a certain one. So I just
Okay.
wanted to correct that.
Not a
It's a
problem.
typo.
I just need a motion, a second.
So
I have
moved.
a motion by
Second.
Corey and a second by Councilman Blakesley.
Councilmember Woods?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Follak?
Yes.
And Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes, and the motion passes 4-0. You guys ready? We'll bring our meeting of February 20th, 2020 back to order. We'll continue with our discussion items. You want to do it now?
Yeah, we're,
Yes, why don't we go ahead?
Your Honor, I would like to make a motion to amend our meeting agenda to add Resolution 23R11, a resolution authorizing the transfer of certain real property to the city via a donation by the property owner.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Follak and a second by Councilman Blakesley to amend our agenda to include resolution number 23R11. Mr. McDonald?
Yes, Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Follak?
Yes.
Councilmember Woods?
Yes.
And Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes, and the motion passes 4-0.
Your
And that was
Honor,
a motion to amend.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 23-R-11.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Follak and a second by Councilman Blakesley to pass on resolution number 23-R-11.
And just, although Councilmember Follak did read it, just for be official, I will read it again by title. A resolution authorizing the transfer of certain real property to the city via donation by the property owner. And we had the motion, and so Councilmember Follak,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
and Vice Mayor Lewis.
Yes, and the motion to pass is agreed on 4-0.
And now we can close our regular
Now we
meeting
will
and go
close
back to
our
the
regular meeting.
Good evening, thank you.
Ms. Holloway, sorry, real quick.
Yes.
Mr. Wendt, just for the sake of transparency, I mean, I know we're going to the study session, but just for the sake of transparency, we didn't really get an explanation of what the resolution that we just approved was for.
Yeah, that's okay. I was ready to go. The resolution 23R11 donation, resolution authorizing the transfer of certain real property to the city via donation by the property owner. This is the 16.1568 acres immediately to the east of the plaza where Kroger is. And so this is the Midland Atlantic property. That property was on the market for many, many years. For the last 2 years plus longer than that, the city has been working with Midland Atlantic to hopefully secure a donation of that land. The purpose of this land is to be used for a public purpose. This is being taken with the city this is being taken by the city with the agreement that it's our primary intention to put a public works facility there on that 16 acres. It can also be used for other public purposes. And in the case that the city does not want it after 10 years or would like to pursue something different with it after a 10-year period, they then could choose to do whatever they want with it. One thing that I would point out with this 16 acres is that there is an easement that goes from North Brown School over to Northwoods. There's no intention on the city's part to connect that roadway at this time. There are no plans to do that across the 16 acres between Northwoods and North Brown School, and so we don't anticipate that connection will be made. If a public works facility does go there, I would anticipate that there would be a gated access at Northwoods for public works, and that the facility would be enclosed, that it would be buffered by the park space from the residences. In the case that Public Works has to respond to a public emergency, if there's a bridge collapse at Northwoods in 75, if it's backed up because it's air show weekend, I do anticipate that we would look at some sort of gated access that would only be used in emergencies by Public Works or Public Safety to access the facility from the south side, but there's no intention of putting a roadway through there, and so I just want to make that very, very clear. But we are excited to take possession of this for public purpose principally.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks.
Councilman Follick.